discussing the starting methods of three-phase induction motor. The topics to be covered today are dual starter, star delta starter, auto transformer starter, rotor resistance starter, and some two features which is sometimes seen in the induction motor that it fails to run, that is known as crawling and cogging. So the first is the dual starter for three-phase induction motor. Now first of all, we'll try to analyze why do we need a starter for a three-phase induction motor, or the different starting methodologies, why is it employed. The motor at the starting draws a very large current, normally 3 to 4 times its normal rated current, and because it's very large, it will have a drop on the supply system because sudden so much extra current from the supply has a voltage drop that can be observed as a flickering in the supply system, and that's the reason we don't want to affect the supply system because it increases the flickering in the remaining loads being connected on the same supply system. So now first one is the dual starter, which has got its limitation that the dual starter can't be used for a motor rated above 5 kilowatts. If a motor is rated below 5 kilowatts, the best suited starter is the dual starter. Dual starter has got few basic protection being involved along with the starting part. It doesn't have any methodology by which we reduce the current, but it has got the overload relay and no volt relay. These are the two functions which is there being integrated with the dual starter. When you see the three lines L1, L2 and L3 represents the three supply lines RYB as L1, L2, L3. The supply is connected to the three fuses F1, F2, F3. Fuse is the basic elementary part of the protection. It is the cheapest which is being provided. The fuse basically operates on the melting point of the material of which it is being used. So if the current exceeds beyond its limit, the material which is being used in the fuse melts down and the fuse is blown off. So that is the cheapest way of protecting any equipment in power system or in the electrical systems. Now after that, you see the three switches S1, S2, S3, which is connected directly to the motor through the OLC, which is measuring, it is a thermal relay, and S1, S2, S3 are the switches which is giving the supply to the motor. The S1, S2, S3 is directly connected to S4, which in turn is connected in parallel to the start position. So if the start is pressed, start button is normally in the open condition. When you push it, it will be closed, and therefore S4 will be also closed, closing the remaining three switches which is connecting to the line to the motor. This start, this overload relay, stop button and the relay coil are connected in series to each other. The overload relay is basic functioning is for the thermal protection of the given motor. If the motor current exceeds a certain limit and the temperature rises beyond a given level, the motor is said to be overloaded, and that thermal protection is being provided to the motor through the OLC, that is the overload coil. There is a relay coil which is functioning as the voltage coil if the motor is running and the supply goes off. So this relay coil will be de-energized and it will open the switches S1, S2, S3. So the motor will be disconnected from the supply. Again, if the supply resumes, it won't be on its own until unless you press the start button. So that is the protection of the given motor through the relay coil. It basically functions as a no volt relay, that if there is no supply voltage across this relay coil, this will be energized and it will open the supply system connected to the motor. The stop button is normally in the closed position, and if we want to stop the motor, we press the stop button. So this contact is opened. As soon as the stop button is opened, the supply to the relay coil will be disconnected and the switch S1, S2, S3 will be opened. So this is how the dual starter works for a given motor. Because there is no reduction of the voltage or no protection of the motor other than the overload protection and no volt protection, the dual starter is not used for the higher ratings of the motor. For the higher ratings of the motor, we can go for the auto transformer starter, where we can reduce the starting voltage, and if you reduce the starting voltage, naturally the inrush current will be reduced and the motor will be safe, plus there will be no drop in the supply system. But the disadvantage of the auto transformer starting is the initial torque decreases because torque is proportional to the square of the voltage. So a small voltage means the torque will be also reduced proportionately. The auto transformer that is connected to a parallel switch, starting we give a less voltage, and when we apply the rated voltage, the auto transformer is cut out from the supply system, and that is no more in the connection. The motors are connected directly to the main switch or the main supply system, because auto transformer is only required for the starting of the motor. Hence the auto transformer is disconnected under the run condition of the given motor. Now here we try to understand with the torque speed characteristics that with the variation of supply voltage how torque gets reduced. You can see the speed torque characteristics, that is, you have got the speed at the x-axis and the torque on the y-axis, and you can see the torque equation. Substituting s is equal to 1, you will get the starting torque of the given motor. So if the voltage applied is the full voltage, the torque produced will be the Te at the start. But if we reduce the voltage by 10%, that is only 90% of the voltage is being applied, the torque produced will be only 81% of the maximum torque, and this reduces the torque significantly by 19% if we reduce the supply voltage. The further you reduce the voltage to 80%, the torque produced will be just 64%, and only 30% reduction of the voltage reduces the torque to be only 50%. So if the starting torque is less than the load torque which is connected to the motor, if it is less than that, the motor will fail to start. So this is how we try to calculate the value of the X in the auto transformer, that what should be the minimum torque, according to that what should be the minimum supply with which we can start the motor. The next comes the star delta starter of the three-phase induction motor, most commonly being used in the industry. So you can analyze the circuit. All the three phases of the stator are taken out, that is, you have got the 6 terminals at the output. The 6 terminals are being brought, one of the ends are brought star connection, the other one will be brought and the delta connection. The star connection, one end will be shorted, so the supply will be coming from the main switch. The one end will get the supply while the other end will be shorted, and once it is in delta position, in that case the windings will be connected in delta. So what is the advantage of connecting the motor in the star connection? When you connect it in the star connection, the voltage at the star will reduce by root 3 times of the line voltage. So if the voltage reduces, the current at the star is also reduced by root 3 times. So you are reducing the starting current with the help of the reduction in the voltage by changing the connection from delta to the star. Because torque is proportional to V square, so the torque produced at start will be only T by 3 times, that is, the torque at start will be reduced by 3 times as the normal torque. When the motor picks up the speed, under that condition, the motor is shifted from the star connection to the delta connection, and at the delta connection we say that the voltage at run will be the same as the supply voltage, the line voltage will be the same, and if the motor is connected in delta, in that case the torque at the run condition will be the same torque which the motor can produce, but the current under run condition will be, the voltage per phase will be now VL. Now VL will be root 3 times the current, and this, therefore the current at run will be 3 times the starting current, and therefore you can get the current will be increasing under the run condition. So the star connection is only needed during the starting of the motor and not during the running condition of the motor, because at the run condition the current is already normalized, the inrush current is no more there, and so you can put it in the delta connection and have the rated torque output from the motor. It can be made as automatic also. Instead of a manual changing over from star to delta, we can also have the automatic connection, because we know that the motor takes almost 2 seconds or 1 minute to run, depending on the inertia of the given motor. You know the mechanical inertia of the given motor. So as per that, you can provide a delay in the given starter, and the motor can be shifted from start to delta under the timing condition or the timer condition, and that can be made as an automatic conversion from a start to delta, and the motor will be producing its normal torque. So this is the most common starter used in the industry. Then we also have the rotor resistance starter, but it has got its limitation that it can't be used on the squirrel cage induction motor. It can be only used on the slip ring induction motors, where we can insert external resistance in the rotor circuit, and if the external resistance is added in the rotor circuit, in that case we change the instant of the maximum torque occurring in the given motor under the given condition. So at this, we increase the rotor resistance, have the maximum torque at the start, and slowly as the motor picks up the speed, we cut out the external resistance and the motor starts running with no external resistance, completely short circuited at the slip ring terminal. Now, what is the disadvantage of this rotor resistance is, that is, because we are adding extra resistance to the circuit, hence there will be more copper losses in the given condition, and so that will introduce more losses and the efficiency of the total system will reduce. But the advantage of this rotor resistance starter is we can get maximum torque even at the start of the given motor. So depending on the load condition, you can have this type of motor so that you can get the maximum torque even at the start of the motor by inserting the external resistance on the rotor of the given motor. Now we'll discuss some two things, that is the crawling and cogging in the given motor. Now what is crawling, that we'll first try to understand. If the motor runs at very low speed, because sometimes you'll observe that the motor is not picked up the speed but it is running at a very slow speed, that is known as the crawling, and this very low speed is normally 1/7 of its full speed. So we'll try to understand why this is 1/7 of its full speed. When the number of slots per phase per pole is less than 3 to 4, that is the number of slots provided for a single pole formation in the winding of the stator is less than 3 to 4, then the MMF waves, the magnetic fields produced by the given stator, is not sinusoidal and it is a stepped condition, and therefore it generates harmonics. Now due to the x-axis symmetry, the even harmonics gets cancelled out. Because it's a three-phase supply, hence the multiple of the third harmonics also gets cancelled out. So only the remaining harmonics are there, which is the 5th, 7th, 11th, 13th and so on. As the order of harmonic increases, their respective magnitude decreases. So over here the maximum will be the 5th harmonic, then the 7th, 11th, 13th and so on. But 5th and 7th are of predominance in the flux wave because the magnitude of 5th and 7th are more than the 11th and 13th and so on higher harmonics. The 5th harmonic has got the negative phase sequence, so it does not produce a forward torque. Hence, only the 7th harmonic has the same direction as the fundamental frequency, and therefore this forward torque slip characteristics get superimposed over that due to fundamental. Therefore, the 7th harmonic in the air gap flow produces the effect of 7 times the number of poles more than the fundamental number of poles. So, if the number of poles is presented as more number of poles, the speed reduces. Hence, the synchronous speed for 7th harmonic is 1/7 of the synchronous speed due to the fundamental component. So if the load characteristics intersects the torque slip characteristics of 7th harmonics in the stable region of the given motor, then the motor continues to run at 1/7 of its synchronous speed. The air harmonics, it's not necessary that it can be only this reason. There can be other reasons of the air gap harmonics, that is the slotting of the motor, the saturation and the air gap length irregularities, and the harmonics or unbalance in the supply voltage itself. So there are many other reasons also, but mainly it is the seventh harmonics which affects, because it has got the maximum magnitude and it is in the same direction of the fundamental frequency. Hence the seventh harmonics gets superimposed on the fundamental, and if the load torque is cutting the speed torque characteristics in the stable region, then the motor will continue to rotate at this lesser speed. Now what is cogging? When the number of stator and rotor slots are equal and they are in the same position, then the reluctance of the magnetic path is minimum. You know that the opposite poles attract each other, and if the stator north pole is just opposite to south pole of the rotor, the magnetic conditions will be such that the reluctance will be minimum, and therefore when the motor moves from this position, then the reluctance increases and a reluctance torque is produced opposing the movement of the rotor. So if the starting torque is less than the reluctance torque, then the motor fails to start. It will only make a humming sound, but it won't rotate. So this phenomena is known as the cogging. To avoid crawling and cogging in the motor, the rotor slots are skewed so that the stator and the rotor slots are no more parallel. That is, if it is skewed, instead of having a straight slot in the rotor, if the one end of the rotor is coming under the north pole, the other will be under the some other condition, so the reluctance won't be same at the two ends of the motor and the cogging won't happen in the motor. Plus it will help in removing the crawling also. This reduces the motor noise and increases the rotor resistance by increasing the length of the rotor conductor, because if you have got a straight line, the length is less. If you have got a slanting line, the length is more. So the increased rotor length of the rotor conductors will increase its resistance, which helps in the torque production. So today we have discussed about the starting methodologies: dual starter, star delta starter, auto transformer starter, rotor resistance starter, and plus two important phenomena, that is the crawling and cogging, which makes the motor not to run at the given condition. Thank you.